Okay, this is probably the biggest Costco haul that we've had to do in a while. We were running low on a ton of things, so I'll just show you what we got. Organic frozen wild blueberries for like smoothies. I put them in cottage cheese, yogurt. Always a staple. Yes, milk comes in bags in Canada. We usually freeze this and it's just for like coffee, smoothies, grass-fed butter. I wanted to make more wraps. I just think they make for a really easy way to get like a high protein but decent carb balanced meal. So we got these whole grain tortilla wrap. Eggs, we always get these ones. They have a nice yellow, dark yellow yolk. Wild rice, I was kind of tired of basmati rice, so I wanted to try something different. We've had this one before. It takes a bit longer to cook, but it's pretty good. Spinach, we freeze this for smoothies. Potatoes, always have these going. They're so good, so easy to just roast. We have this with like beef, chicken. It's a great kind of like really dense option for carbs compared to something like pasta or even rice. These are our favorite oats. We always have one of these going in the house. Just restocked that. Cottage cheese, I eat with everything. I get 2 at a time of these. These are always such a good price compared to the regular grocery store. I literally eat cottage cheese with anything. You can have it with fruit, you can have it with pepper, sweet, savory. It's just good with everything. Nice high protein snack. Got some tuna for easy, quick, I don't know what to make meals. A bunch of Greek yogurt. Have this with breakfast. Put it in smoothies. Jeff really likes these dates for a little bit of a like dessert after meals. It's just a really nice way to satisfy a sweet tooth craving if you have that compared to eating things like cookies. Although I am still a fan of cookies. It's got some Brazil nuts. I guess 2 a day of these gets your daily selenium, so good. Can chop them up, put them into yogurt too. Cinnamon for coffee. Honey. Jeff really likes this barbecue sauce, so we got a giant one of those. Bagged avocados. This is ground turkey. They changed the packaging of this, so now it's in this weird inner tube that I have to just take out and get ready to freeze. We love these protein bars. We always have them going in the house. Just some berries. I love eating fresh berries with things like yogurt, cottage cheese, or just like on the side of things like eggs and at my breakfast. We got 2 things of kiwis. They are so good. We're super into eating them right now. Very nice and high in fiber. Cucumbers, my favorite Kamado tomatoes. They actually taste like they came from a garden. This is the only tomato that tastes that way for me until it becomes tomato season. Some cheese, and that is the haul. Time to put this away. That took forever. Costco is such a commitment to go to. That's why we only ever do it once a month. I let my hair air dry overnight, so it's like pretty frizzy curly. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I need to do my makeup. Let's do that. Let's catch up. Covering this redness here. I'm like super red today. Anyway, so I thought I would just take you guys around with me today. I haven't vlogged in quite a while, so I thought today might be a good day to catch up and share what a day in my life looks like. I went to the gym last night. I am very, very sore. I'm still using my Merit blush in Stockholm. I have flattened this thing out, but this is just such a nice, easy blush. You can put it on your lips too, but it just blends like nothing. Maybe you can tell. I don't really spend too much time doing my makeup every day. I just want to look a little bit fresher, a little bit more put together. So I just like using kind of cream products, and I usually just go in really fast like this. So what did I do? I wanted to give you guys an update on, I did something, it was more on Instagram. I didn't really feel like I had the motivation, kind of bandwidth to share a bunch of check-ins and updates about this on YouTube, but I did something I call a More Money May challenge. So at the beginning of the year, I wanted to basically just sprinkle in no-buy months into my year and essentially take like full-on detoxes from things like shopping, social media, anything that I find very easy to overindulge in or that create a lot of distractions from what I want to be doing and from my time, and just make, you know, things that like make you feel good in the short term, but in the long term usually makes you feel overwhelmed. And it's just something that I like to do whenever I start to feel a little bit overwhelmed or straight up like just losing a lot of gratitude and feeling really ungrateful for what I already have, because it's really easy, even to this day, to get caught up in all the newness all the time. But yeah, so I did my More Money May challenge. I basically did a dopamine detox from shopping, a lot of social media scrolling. So I muted and unfollowed a lot of people on social media. No hard feelings. But that's kind of the advice a lot of people give. If you're feeling really overstimulated, or if seeing certain people online makes you feel bad or tempted, mute them or unfollow them. Get them out of your feed. Find ways and set boundaries to get back to yourself. So I did that, and throughout the whole month of May, I just spent a lot more time like doing things like going for walks outside. I started going for like, afternoon walks after lunch to get my steps in. I've been aiming for 10,000 steps a day. Let's style my hair now. I started going for runs outside, which was amazing. I started training different things at the gym. I'm learning how to do a ring muscle up, which is amazing. I feel super, super strong. It's really, really hard, but I love it. Going to the gym honestly has been like the best thing for my mental health, my strength, everything. It's just the best thing ever. I don't know, let me know if you want to see like a week of workouts that I do. I think that would be kind of fun to film. Maybe I can talk to my coach and see if he'll want to share some like beginner tips with you guys or something. The way I've sort of reframed doing a no-buy challenge is via doing a dopamine detox. So for a lot of us, shopping online, scrolling is a way that a lot of us obtain what's called cheap dopamine. So dopamine is a neurotransmitter that we all have, that we all produce, and it essentially drives motivation and reward. So that's why you feel that little bit of, pleasure and even euphoria after you make a purchase. But a lot of the times that is a temporary spike in dopamine, and then it crashes, and it often can crash below your level of baseline. And then that's when you start to feel things of essentially like withdrawal. You might start to feel anxious. You might start to feel like you are craving to go shopping for that next thing to get that next spike of dopamine, and on the cycle goes. And soon you need more and more and more, and you don't get that same level of satisfaction, but you kind of get yourself stuck in this cycle. And that can happen with shopping, social media, video games, pretty much anything that you feel like you overindulge in and basically is easy to get addicted to. So when you do something like a no buy, you're basically taking that dopamine detox from shopping, and you basically give yourself an opportunity to reset your dopamine system to baseline. You kind of give yourself the opportunity to find pleasure and joy in other things again, and find joy out of creating your own dopamine by doing hard things rather than seeking it exogenously all the time, like for example by scrolling on social media, binge watching Netflix, or impulse buying. So if a no buy has been difficult for you, I think reframing it as a dopamine detox, to me it's just been really, really helpful and really and a lot easier to stick to, because you do start to notice, especially after I'd say like the first 2 weeks, you start to see the benefits of your life without the behavior. It felt really, really good. I did replace a couple of products that I needed from Sephora, but I used a gift card, and then we bought a patio set for our patio, but it ended up not being that great, so we returned it and got a new one in the month of June that we're really happy with. But the main thing I kind of allowed myself to focus on in that month was, how do I create my own sources of dopamine? And the way you do that is, yes, by detoxing away from the things that we kind of compulsively go towards and are sort of our default to get that dopamine. So social media, Netflix, binge eating, impulse buying, sugar, video games, any of those things. And you learn to replace that with other things, and you can create your own sort of dopamine spike by doing hard things. So for me, it's been going to the gym and lifting heavy weights. It's been going on walks, getting my steps in, and just getting outside. I started reading, which I am not a very good reader. Usually I'm an audiobooks person, so I'll do that while I'm on my walks and things like that. But reading a real book is another really great way. Creating, so if you're into art, sewing, DIY, like creating something takes concentration and effort. But all of these things, whether it be going to the gym, cooking meals from scratch, discovering new hobbies, all of these things create your own what's called like expensive dopamine, higher quality dopamine, that because on the initial, it's difficult to do. There's kind of like a painful threshold you have to overcome. Like it's hard to go and lift heavy weights. It's hard to go to the gym when you don't feel like it, or it's hard to go for a run or even a walk, or it's harder to sit down and concentrate on a book rather than be entertained by TikTok and social media for hours and hours on end. So the act of doing those higher quality activities, there is this initial pain that you kind of experience, but on the other end of accomplishing the task, you feel this sort of longer term sense of pleasure and accomplishment, and essentially it's the hard work that becomes worth it at the end, and the reward is longer term at the end. And then compare that to sources of cheap dopamine, where you get that short-term pleasure that usually results in long-term pain. And if it's impulse buying or shopping for a lot of us, it's feelings of shame, it's feelings of why can't I control myself, it's feelings of, oh, I overspent and now I'm in debt and now I have to return these things, and like, why can't I get my shit together? So that's really been the benefit for me when it comes to doing the no buy challenges or just the dopamine detox overall, and that sort of social media detox that I took from the month of May as well. I think it was really beneficial, and I'm definitely going to be continuing that. Sometimes when I do buy things, I'll be like, oh, I really like that, what else can I get from this brand, or what else can I get to go with this? And it kind of turns into this snowball of like, you buy something once and then you suddenly want to go buy all the other things. But I haven't experienced that since this dopamine detox so far, and I think it's because I've started to build up a lot more new habits that I'm still working on, but they're slowly kind of becoming part of my routine and things that I'm looking forward to, and just kind of basically just like habits that are helping me prove to myself that I do the thing that I say I was gonna do when I said I was gonna do it. And in this day and age, it's really easy to get distracted and put things off and just kind of continuously break promises to ourselves. So yeah, that's what I kind of really learned from that month. That's what I took away from that detox. I wouldn't say it was perfect, but it's really not about all or none. Even if you slip up, it's like, what are you feeling? What are you learning? And just how do you continue? And then at that point, I think it really becomes less about, you know, shopping versus not shopping and buying versus not buying, and more focusing on like, well, what can I do that makes me feel good? What can I do that's better than this right now? Is there something hard that I can do that's gonna make me feel really proud of myself and accomplished at the end of it? So yeah, it was a really good month, and I would definitely do it again. So let me know if you would try it. I just came back from getting my eyebrows touched up. It's called micro shading. Looking pretty dark right now. So I'm not supposed to touch them or get them wet for the next week, and they look really red, and I'm quite swollen. But they'll look good in the end, trust the process. But I'm still gonna go work out tonight. I don't sweat too much when I lift, and I'm not doing any cardio or anything too crazy, so we're gonna go to the gym tonight. It's leg day, so I'll take you with me.